Yep. Good morning, everyone. So last session we discussed about JavaScript string handling. So yesterday we discussed about JavaScript string type. So what are the basic points we learned is string can be in double quote. So it can be single quote and it can be backtick. So what is backtick advantage? It allows binding expression, data binding expression. Data binding expression is defined, double quote is this one. Single quote, we have single quotes and we have backtick. Backtick is defined in this way. Now what is the advantage of backtick is it allows data binding expression. Binding expression dollar curly. So yesterday we saw one more is about string formatting. How we can handle string formatting? We can do the string formatting by using formatting methods. String formatting methods are present. We can use them, or we can define by using style, or you can define by using class. Dynamically formatting a string is important. How we can dynamically format a string using this. Methods you can use, but everything is not possible with method, then we go with style. But if there are multiple styles to change, then better go with the class. But you know that styles are defined like this. So name dot style dot attribute. Attribute name is equal to value. Classes are defined by using class name. And class name is equal to any name. So you have to define this. Name is nothing but CSS class name. We have to define. This is basically how we apply. One example, we will see that dynamically how you can format, right? How we can apply. One simple option we will see. Not just format applying here. The key concept is you should know that formats applied to element dynamically. Actually, class and style are not formatting string. They are formatting element. So these functions are formatting. These are formatting string, right? But these are not formatting string actually. These are not formatting string. Style and class are formatting what? Style and class are not formatting a string. They are formatting what? Elements. They are formatting the elements. So usually, so how this works, one small example we will see. Yesterday I just given one simple point how we can apply a class and a style. Let's see one simple example here. Let's take a new file. I will give as so format theme .html. So here I am just designing a simple page. In this page, so this is string format. And in the string format, here I am going to design a simple div. And in the div, we will create a simple form here. So we are creating a form better here. So we are creating a div. In this, we have a form. Form have some details like, so we'll put a span, class BI and BI some person fill. And here we have user login something. and we have a data list, data term, some username, and there is a text box. Input type is equal to text. And another data term, we have some password, and data definition input type is equal to password. And here I will just put a button, say login. Now what we are doing is here we are applying a link relation is equal to what? Style sheet. Href is node modules, and in that bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css. We are using bootstrap. Next link relation is style sheet. So style sheet href is equal to node modules. In that we have bootstrap icons, font icons.css. I will apply container here fluid. Okay. And you can see this is the design we are having. Now I will add some effects here for this screen. So how you can dynamically format any element? For that, the string functions and styles and classes. So it is taking some time. Let's check that. Some issue. Let me check that. Okay, some problem. 1 second. Online people, please wait. I will reconnect one more time. Just here, I have some issue. Start. Just have some issues with the system. I restarted. That's fine. So now let's see the example here. So we are designing. So this is the theme we are creating. Yeah. Let's run this and see. So in this page, we created a simple login screen, and we want to change the appearance of this login screen. We created a simple login screen. So let's go here and keep this. I will set the form. This div is having a class dflex, and justify content center, align items center, align items center. I'm just keeping alignment. Height, I will just give height as some 400 pixel. Actually, this is a simple output created here. Now, what I want to do here for these text boxes, I'm applying a class as form control. And here I'm using form control. And for this, we will use a button. So class btn, some btn dark, something like this. Now here, this is the form we are having, and form is having some class border. And actually for this form, we will not apply any class, just a blank one. So this is generally appearance of your form. Now what we are doing here is for this user login form, this is the user login form. I will add a simple div. Here we will keep a class form switch. And here we are defining a checkbox. Input type is equal to checkbox. And this checkbox is having a class form check input. And here I say dark theme, like this I'm giving. Now what should happen here is, so when user turns on this dark theme, the entire form should be changed to dark. The entire form should change to dark. That means background black, foreground white. Appearance must be completely changed for this. Then how we can change the complete format of content dynamically? So that depends on this checkbox. When checkbox is checked, we need to turn it, right? So first what we will do is, for a form, we will create a class. I am writing a style. In the style, we are defining a class called dark theme. That is the class. In dark theme, what we will do is, we will put some padding as some 10 pixel. We will put background color as black, and color as white. That's what we are applying. That is dark theme we are having. Now what should happen is, we need to verify whether this checkbox is checked or not. If it is checked, the theme must be applied to this form. So how to access the form? I will give an ID, FRM login. That is the ID. So we have to write a script now. Now the question is how you access the checkbox. For the checkbox also we need an ID. So some theme checkbox. Theme checkbox is the ID. So here we are writing a script now. We are writing a script. Now, what is the script we are defining? When the theme checkbox is changing, that means we have to write a event called on change. On change, we will say theme change. That is the function. So we will write the function here. Function, what is it? Theme change. And when theme change function fires up, I have to verify whether the checkbox is checked or not. Right? First, I will define here checkbox. How to access theme checkbox? Theme checkbox to access document.getElementById. What is it? Theme checkbox. We want to access theme checkbox. And we want to apply effect to form. Then we need to access the form. FRM login. Document get element by ID. What is it? FRM login. So checkbox is there, login is there. Now we are writing a condition. If theme checkbox dot checked, that means it is selected. Checkbox have a property checked. If it is checked, then FRM login, for that we need to apply a class name. Which class? CSS class name is dark theme. That is the class name we want to apply. That is the simple condition we given. We are dynamically applying the class. Now see what happens here. I turn on this one, then its appearance changes. And I turn off this one, then it should be normal again. That means if it is not checked, else. What should happen? So FRM login dot class name. Do you have any alternate class? If not, I will keep empty. Class name I am keeping empty. But what I am doing is I can apply some bootstrap classes. Like I will keep P3 padding 3. Right? I can put some bootstrap classes. So for just padding 3 is there, but other classes are not there. That means I turn on this, it will be like this. Turn off this, it will be normal. That means now the appearance of this is dynamically changing. So we can format the complete element dynamically. So here string formatting has two things. You can format only the string, or you can format the complete element that handles a string. Right? To format string, you have functions like bold, italic, font color and all this. But to format element, that contains strings. So for that, we need to use this technique. Right? This is basically seen everywhere regularly. You see a button color. That means if I want to apply some effect to the button, you see button is not having any ID. But what I will do is I will access where login button. How to access login button? Document.query selector. Query selector we have button because only one button is there. Now what I will do is if it is checked, then login button should use a class name. Class name is equal to, we have bootstrap classes. We can apply them directly. If a CSS file you linked, in that some classes are present, those classes you can apply. So BTN, I said BTN light like this. Now that is what we are applying. Suppose here what we have to do, else login button. So login button dot what? Class name is equal to BTN and BTN dark. And we need to apply one more W100 width also. Here also W100. This is multiple classes. You can apply multiple classes. Now, when I change this, that means the appearance of the button changes. That means the appearance of the login button also changing. That means you can change the complete appearance of the button. This is dynamically you are changing the appearance. So I am turning off and turning on, right? That is what actually formatting. So this is a simple example of how you can apply classes dynamically. Yesterday you saw functions and you saw how to use the concept of working with styles. So now after working with functions and the styles, this is class, how you can apply. This is a simple example. Let me copy this example for you in our note. Yeah. Yeah. So I will just copy that example here. So in this example, we are using string formatting. That means we are applying apply format to element dynamically. That is what we are doing. So apply format to string, apply format to element that contains strings that you can manage. So these are important in configuration of formats for strings. Next important, this is formatting a string. Next important is in JavaScript, we need to know about string manipulation. String manipulation methods. What are string manipulation methods? String formatting methods, string manipulation methods. String manipulations means you can modify the strings. You can remove some characters from the string. You can add characters into string. You can search for something in string. All such interactions are called as string manipulations. And this is very major actually. That means in JavaScript, lot of interactions are done by using string manipulation. So validations and effects are done. For example, what are the methods and properties? We have properties also. So we have some properties and some methods. The first important string manipulation related property, we have length. And generally, length is nothing but actually it returns the total number of characters in a string. How many characters are there in a string? That is returned by using length. Length is to check how many characters are present. So how do you check whether string is empty or not? So string empty is verified by using empty quotes, by using empty quotes. We use empty quotes. That means we write like this. Generally we write like this. So how to verify string is empty? How to verify string is having this length? That you can do that by using length property. That's a very basic thing. Let's see one point here. So let's go here and see one example for that. I will add a new page here. And this is a string manipulation, or say string, manipulation. In string manipulation, let's create a simple HTML page. Okay. And in this page, let's add the title string. Okay. Now here I am creating a simple text box. So data list, data term, I'll say user name, and data definition, input type as text, and ID I will give as user name. Below that data definition, we have an ID user error. Now I will put here a button, and the button say submit. When user clicks the submit button, I need to handle some validations. What are the validations I need to handle is, first, I need to make sure that there is some value inside the text box. Otherwise, if it is empty, then it should display please enter username. That is the first thing we need to do. So we need to verify whether there is a value inside that or not. Then how do we do? Let's write a script. In the script function, submit click. On submit click, this button should use that submit click. We will put a on click. On click as what? Submit click. On submit click, first we will collect username entered in text box. Document get element by ID, username dot value. After that, we will collect user error. User error is document get element by ID, user error. User error is a simple data definition where we want to display the message. We need to verify first username is there or not. So username is a string. How to verify a string empty or not? We have to use username is equal to empty. If it is equal to empty, then we will display a simple message, user error, inner HTML. We will say username required. After that, we will apply font color as red. Like this, we are formatting the string also. Else, what should happen? Else, I should just display some message saying that so login success or some registered success. But here I need to verify another concept. If it is not empty, I have to verify, is it having minimum maximum characters what I am expecting. That means username should be minimum 4. So username should be maximum 10. That means it should be between 4 to 10. How to check whether it is the string have minimum 4 characters or not? Right? We need to do that. Actually, we will, to make it more good interface, we will not wait until user submits, because generally people do on submit. These days we don't do that. Why? Because when you do on submit everything, what is the problem is, if there are 10-15 fields, user have to fill up them and he need to go scroll down and submit. Then only he knows is there any problem. But these days what we do, while typing itself we verify. Right? So it will improve the performance. So here what we have to do is, if it is not empty, then we will put a simple message. So what is the message? We will put a message. So first, user error dot user, not user error, just document dot write. Document dot write, I will say registered. This message should come. Okay. That is a simple point to handle. So now we will do one more work. If user is typing something inside it, then we have to verify how much he is typing, length. That means I need to verify for every character he types. Then for this text box, while typing in text box, I need to verify. Then for text box, we use an event on key up. On key up, we will say verify name. It's a function. We will write the function here. What is the function verify name? What it have to do, it should get the username first. Document get element by ID. What is it? Username dot value. And I need to here get another one, that is user error. Document get element by ID. What is it? User error. After that, I need to verify if username dot length. This is string property. Length verifies how many characters are present. If the length is less than, suppose 4, then I will put a message user error dot inner HTML. I will say that name too short, and I will put a font color, add that font color as red. Like this I am giving. I will verify another one. That means I will use here. This is one option. If it is less than 4, then it is going to display this message. I will put another option. If username dot length is greater than 10, then user error dot inner HTML is equal to, so name too long. So name too short, I will say minimum 4 characters. So, and name too long, maximum 10 characters, like this. And font color, so font color, I am giving this also red. This is how I am writing. Now later I will tell you when we are writing logics. We will discuss about statements. We will learn conditions, if conditions, how to write them. There you will learn some important developer concepts, because many people immediately think here, sir, why you are not writing else? Right? Why you are not writing else if? You will understand why I am not writing in the next concept we will see. I am independently verifying. Why I am not writing this answer you will get in the if statements, we will see that. Why it is not good, what is good, what is not good, we will learn that. So initially I written separate conditions. Then the point here is these messages should come. That means now what should happen if it is less than 4? It is greater than 10. These are the two options I defined. Now what I am doing here, so display here, I click on submit. It says username required. After that, I am typing the username and it says name too short. Minimum 4 characters required. Okay, I entered, so David. Now, if I minimum entered, it should clean up. It should not display that message. Then what I am doing here, so now I am writing else. What should happen? User error dot inner HTML is equal to empty. That means now you see, I click submit. It says username required. I am typing the name David, D minimum 4 characters, David, and now it is okay. If I am not having minimum 4 characters, it should display that message again. Right? And now I am writing David. Okay, now it's fine. I am entering more than 10 characters. Now it is too long. And I am removing that. It is normal. If it is more than 10 characters, then it says name too long. So, and remove that. Now it is displaying like this. This is the basic approach, how we can verify how many characters user entered. That you can simply do, whether entered or not, empty. How much he entered, that is depending on the length. Depending on the length, we can verify that. Now, one more here. Here, I am removing all the characters. If I am removing all the characters, then it should say again required. That means the same concept have to work. So in the same concept have to work here. Why, if it is empty, that means you have to write multiple conditions. That means you need to write one more condition. This is on key up na. That means you will write another condition. If username is equal to empty, then user error dot inner HTML, we will say username required, and we will put some font color as what, red. This is another condition. That means now what we are doing here. So I click enter, it says username required. I am entering, it says minimum, it is name too short, minimum 4 characters. I entered 4 characters, fine. Now I am entering more characters, then it should say name too long. I am removing this, now it is fine. It says minimum too short. I will remove this also, then it says required. These are all the conditions how we can configure. This is string verification. That means we are verifying whether there is a value or not, and we are verifying whether the value length is between our characters or not. This is a simple example to understand this. This is the example for knowing about length. That means how do we know the length of the string, and based on that we manipulate, right? That's now, for example, here now there are so many string formatting methods. So next important here, when you are dealing with string, another important method we have string manipulation. We have char at. It's a method. What is char at method? Actually, it returns the character. It returns the character present at specified index. It returns the character present at specified index. At specified index, what is the character present? That is returned by using char. That means, for example, so here we are writing a string called welcome. Then I am just using str dot char at. I said 1. That means it is going to return E, because the index number starts with 0. That means at character at 1 index, which character is present? E. Generally, why you need this? So why you need this? That means why we need char. Char is used to verify that at specific index, it is having the same character that we are expecting. That means, for example, I want a name to be entered. Suppose you see bank official sites. In a bank site, they say that our here IFSC code, it should start with yes only, or it should start with B. That means we are particular about which character is present at specific index. Then what we do is char at 0. Char at 0 means, is it first position, the specified character is present or not? I will show one example. We will put one example. In one example, we will try. So first we need to know few methods, then we can put all these together. Char is used for to know which character is present at specified index. It returns that particular. Now, important is if I defined so string str dot char at 15, what it will return? There is no character at 15. There is no 15 index at all. So usually when you are defining this, that means when you are configuring this, generally see, I'm using a simple string demo. Fine. Demo.html. Okay. In this, let's put a script here where str is equal to, so welcome something. And we are using document.write str.char at. So suppose I said 15, but there is no 15 at all. If there is no 15 at all, usually what it is going to return, that means you see it go to inspect, and in the inspect, so you see the console here, there is no error. There is no error. That means in the console, we don't have any error. There is no error. But you see here, I said char at here 1. That means it has to return the character at 1. Right? If I am using char at 10, and there is no character, there is no error. That means actually it is not returning anything. It is not returning anything. Sometimes you people will be confused, like it will return undefined or it will return null. So it will not return anything. That means it is an void type. It is not going to return anything if there is no particular value. Means there is no specific index, not even an error is returned. Error is returned. So technically, so here, if the index is not there, that means it will return void. That means it will return nothing, no return type at all. Void indicates it is no return type. If the index is not there, it will not return anything. It's no return type. That is basically important to understand. Char at. Next important, we have char code at. Char code at, actually it returns the code of ASCII code actually. ASCII code of character present at specified index. Character present at specified index like this. That means this is going to return the code of the character, ASCII code of character at index. That means I said where str is equal to some Ajay, some name I define. Now what happens here is I am using str dot char code at. Char code at, I said 0. Now what it is going to return? It returns 65. Because the character code of uppercase A starts with 65. From 65 to 90 uppercase letters. So that means it can verify the code of the character. Now what is advantage of this? We can verify whether it is capital or not. That means which is there. That means which character index is there, we can verify. That means suppose I'm designing something here. In the design, what I want is, suppose I want here, so username. And I'm using a text box. Input type is text. ID is username. And my concept here, I will put a span. ID is user error. Now, what is the point here? I will simply want the concept that you can enter any name, but name must start with uppercase. User can enter any name, but name must start with an uppercase letter. Then what we do is we will write, so here is simple. After he finished typing, we will verify. Then I will write an event on blur. On blur indicates when the control will lose the focus. When control lose the focus means when user clicks outside the control, it will lose the focus. Right? That means user finish and click outside or press tab, then it will lose the focus. Then we call it as what? Blur. Right? On blur, we will verify user. Now see what we are doing here, writing a script. In the script, we have a function verify user. Now I have to get where user name document dot get element by id username dot what value. And here we will define user error document get element by id user error. Now important, if username that is string dot char code at 0 is greater than or equal to 65. If it is greater than or equal to 65, and double ampersand, which indicates logical end. That means you are comparing with another expression. What is another expression? Username dot what? Char code at 0 is less than or equal to how much? 90. If it is between 65 to 90, then user error will be empty. Nothing. User error dot inner HTML. We keep empty. Otherwise, user error dot inner HTML, we will put a message. Name must start with the uppercase letter. So uppercase letter like this. Then font color, I will keep as font color as red. That's what we are displaying. Now what happens is here in this example. So I will write this here, username. I click inside and I am typing some name, any name you can type. And it says that name must start with uppercase letter. Okay, let's start with an uppercase letter. Now it is fine. That means it is not verifying immediately when you type it. It is verifying on blur. Blur means finish. That means you click outside somewhere. Now again, I click here, some entered some name. So and click outside, then this is name. Name must start with uppercase letter, and any name you can give, but it should start with uppercase letter. Remember, uppercase letter can be anywhere. No, not anywhere. It is only starting because char coded is verifying at specific position. That means it should start with that, then it will work. It is going to work. This is actually done by using char code at. How to use caret also we will see that, right? So we have char code at. So we have string properties and methods. Length to know how many characters are there. Char at to know which character is present. Char code at, what is the code of the character at that index. So based on that, we can handle the condition. Next important, here we have index of. Index of actually it returns the index number of character present at specified index. Specified index. It returns the Actually, previously it is returning characters. Now it will return the index number. That means where, suppose I say str is equal to welcome. Then what we will do is we will say str dot index of e. That means it returns the index number of e1. But e occurred so many times, but it returns only first occurrence index number. It returns only first occurrence, occurrence. Now this is where in interviews they ask lot of conditions. When you go to interviews on JavaScript, they will ask like, how do I know how many times it occurred? How do I know whether it repeated or not? How to get the repeated character? Get me how many times it is repeated, get me which character repeated. These all type of conditions they ask. And for that we need some programming logic skills also. That I will show you. We will see that how questions are asked on strings. First we will see these functions. How do we work with them? Now suppose I am writing str dot index of suppose b. What it will return? There is no b in that particular string. Then what it will return? If it is character returning, character is void, but it is index returning, index cannot be void. Then what it will do is, if any character is not there and you are looking for, it will return -1. It will return -1. So index starts with 0. And if any character is not found, then it will return -1. Char at will return the character. And if that index is not there, then it is void type. It will not return anything, not even null or undefined. So, but this will return -1. So this can be asked in several ways. Like they can ask, how do you search for a character in a string? How do you search for any character in a string? How do we search for any character in a string? We can search for any character in a string with index of. So if it is present, then its index is returned. If it is not present, always it returns -1. So let's see the point here. That means whether that is there or not, how do we do? Now I will use a simple logic here. That means we are defining a simple logic. So what is that? Here I am asking for email, and said input type is equal to some email or text. We can define ID is equal to email. ID is just I given as email. Okay. And we have a span and ID as email error. Okay. Now, once email is entered, that means here I will just use on blur. On blur, verify what? Email. Verify email. How do we verify email? I'm writing a function, verify email. We have to access email, document get element by ID, what? Email. Email dot value. What email value they entered. Now here I am just using a simple condition. One more is email error. Email error, document get element by ID. What is it? Email error. Now I am writing a condition. If email is a string and its index of at the net is equal to -1, it indicates at the net is not there. In email, I want at the net. In email, I want at the net. I am just using -1. If it is -1, then email error dot what? Inner HTML. I will put a message. And the message, what is the message? We are displaying a message. So invalid email. Please include @ please include @ in email. This is what we are defining. Else, if it is not -1, that means it is there. If it is there, then email error dot inner HTML, and we will keep it as empty. Now what we are doing here is this time we are verifying email. I'm entering some name david@gmail.com. Like this I typed, then it says invalid email. Of course, so we need a simple color to apply, right? So we will format this email string dot what font color is red. And you can see now here I am defining. Let's click here. I entered something and it says invalid. And I entered @ then it's okay. That means if @ is not present, then it is invalid. It can verify whether that particular character is there or not. Actually, this is not email validation. Just we are verifying what is the purpose of index. Why it is not email validation? Because in email validation, a lot of other conditions also will be there. It should start with minimum 2 characters. It should have a dot occurrence and everything, right? That is done by using this option. So we have an option called index of. This is the example of how we can deal with index of, right? So we have index of. Now, here the same concept, here we are also having last index of. Last index of, it gets the last occurrence index number of a character. Last occurrence index number of a character. That means, for example, I defined var str is equal to welcome. And what I am doing, I am using str dot index of e. What it will return 1. And I want str dot last index of e. That means last occurrence of e. Last occurrence of e is what? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means index starts with 0. That means it will return 6. It will return 6. So we can verify. That is what people ask in interview. They will say that then how to get every occurrence? Suppose it is repeated somewhere between, how you will get it? For that, we need to write some logic. So we will see, we need to use some logic for that. So initially last index of. So last index of indicates the last occurrence. This also returns -1 if it is not there. If that character not there, then obviously it is going to return -1, right? So that means this also uses the same concept. str dot what? Last index of some b. Last index of b, it returns -1. Generally, this can be used in various occasions. For example, you are entering email. I need to verify dot is there or not. But sometimes in email, I entered david.abc@gmail.com. That means dot occurrence can be 2 times. It can be so at ID, it can be at domain name. Now I need to verify the domain name is what? Is it com? Is it co.in? Is it org? Is it edu? What is the domain extension? Then how to get the domain extension? That means first we need to get last index of dot. From there, all the characters we have to read. How do we read the characters from there to know which domain they are using? So for that, again, several functions are there. We have substring, we have slice, we have sub-str. By using those functions, you can even access the characters from a string. So, but first, this is enough. We need to first try up to this. Okay. First you try up to this. Then tomorrow we will see some more, right? Lot of string methods are there. We will see all examples with those string methods. Then after that, we will start some programming, means competitive programming questions asked in string related to JavaScript, what they ask. Those you need to practically do and show. That means we will have like live practical test. I will give one program, you need to write and show me and submit me here. Immediately I will verify, then we will go to next. And if you are unable, then I will explain how to be done. That process we will do with string. So after we learnt all the functions of string, we will do that work. Then we will get very perfect on string, because you can say that you can crack 10% of JavaScript interviews if you are good in such competitive programs. Because every JavaScript competitive interview, they ask these kind of questions. Related to strings, lot of questions are asked, right? That we will see how to handle them. That we'll see in next session, right? Tomorrow we'll do that. Tomorrow we will discuss other methods and how to work with those methods. Okay, right.